Am I live? I think I'm live. Receiving your content. Am I live? I guess I'm live now. All right. I'll just wait here because I have nothing better to do. Hey, you guys. So I apologize. I woke up late. I literally went to sleep at literally like what, 2:30, 2:45 a.m. I was working so late. And I also have to cover for some other days too because I have to leave out of town again in July. So yeah, woke up late on a Father's Day, and then my two daughters made me butter pecan pancakes, which are my favorite. So I'm like, either I can go live or miss this beautiful moment with my daughters who cooked me breakfast with their mom. So I had to do that. That's like a memory they'll remember when I'm gone, and I'll remember when I'm on the other side. Wow, look at my hair, just completely. Look at this, baby. I have such good hair now. It's better than Shah Rukh Khan's, huh? So today I didn't really prepare a subject that I wanted to talk about today. Um, Although I had quite a few subjects that I wanted to talk about. So what I'm going to do here is this. Just give me a planet whose Mahadasha you're going through or that you want to know maybe in the future. So just write in the comments like Jupiter Mahadasha 11th house Taurus, something. So this way I can quickly answer your guys' questions. And you guys get to learn about Mahadashas, or you can even give Antradasha. So you're going through Jupiter and Cancer in the second house Mahadasha? Camila Lopes? Okay, so Jupiter in the second house in Taurus, Mahadasha. So the very first dynamic you have to see when you're studying a Mahadasha is what is the planet does for this particular ascendant. So for Aries ascendant, Jupiter rules the ninth house with its Mool Trikon sign. Okay? And it rules the 12th house, which is its own sign. So here now Jupiter is sitting in the second house of money, wealth, family, lineage, food, speech, fame. So very first thing that you will notice with this is that you will start earning money in Jupiter period through a distant, long distance place. And you will do a lot of travel on behalf of your ability to earn money, and your family will travel. This is the period where you are going to be greatly involved in material things. For you, the value is really going to be emphasized towards finding wisdom in material things, material wealth. Whether it's jewelry, whether it's actual money, possessions, you're definitely going to become a foodie in this Jupiter Mahadasha. You're going to love to eat food. You're going to enjoy food, luxury food. Why luxury food and not sattvic food? You're going to enjoy rajasic food. Not even tamasic, rajasic, not sattvic. Because of the fact Jupiter considered Taurus its enemy sign. Jupiter is a sattvic planet. Taurus is a rajasic sign. You're putting them together here, so Jupiter's indulgence and his wisdom will be all towards rajasic qualities. Wanting to enjoy family life, wanting to enjoy good food. You're also going to find interest in poetry, public speaking, counseling. And because of the fact Jupiter is now sitting sixth from its Mool Trikon sign, definitely it's going to be all about daily routines and work. Like you're gonna, and especially this shows that with this Jupiter, you are going to be greatly involved in earning money through either banking sources, banking, teaching, counseling. These are going to become your three primary focus in this Mahadasha. Okay? So Venus Mahadasha, Venus in Taurus. Which house though? Gotta give me the house as well, because then I can't help you. Just give me the Mahadashas. Venus Mahadasha, Simbha Lagna, Venus in the third house in Libra. Okay, so Venus Mahadasha is running. Regardless of the nakshatra, first of all, this is the period where your pleasure and your choices will be greatly emphasized towards your technical skills, your ability to express yourself creatively, great interest in social interaction, social media, Instagram, Facebook. Naturally, this can also, I don't know, your planetary placement, this brings great interest in acting, performing arts. Shows that your spouse, if you're married, your spouse is going to be traveling a lot, doing a lot of short distance travel. Knowing that this is a trick house, your ego is going to be enveloped. What is it called? Yeah, enveloped or something into the world of wanting to express yourself through your ego. What do I mean by this? See, third house represents what we think of the world. For you now, for the next 20 years, or whatever, how long your Venus Mahadasha is, you're going to be mainly focused towards portraying your ego as somebody who loves material things, who wants to enjoy life, relationships, do a lot of travel, and especially because Venus rules your 10th house of career, sits in the third house. Your career is going to require you to travel and to attain technical creative skills of hands. You're also going to find great interest in dancing. Especially if your Venus is in Swati Nakshatra, you're going to do excellent in advertisement and marketing. So, Moon Mahadasha in the 8th house. Kumbha Lagna, what? Hold on. Ketu Mahadasha, 6th house Libra. Ketu Mahadasha, 6th house Libra. Okay. So that means you're a Taurus ascendant. Ketu core rules the 7th house of relationship, marriage, partnership, sits in the 6th house in the sign of Libra, which is a sign related to relationships, compromise, sign related to, unionship, partnership. Here, first of all, what Ketu does, Ketu will suddenly, number one, will make you interested in social work, social things. Your past life karmas related to relationships will become alive. Everybody that you run into in Ketu Mahadasha, while Ketu's in Libra, will have some karmic relationship tied up with you. Whether you get something from them or they come and harm you, it is a karmic string that you have to deal with of relationship. Naturally, your daily routines will be more subtle in this period. You're going to be very much interested in doing daily routines related to meditation, yoga, occult, mysticism, wanting to get away from the daily work routines, wanting to have a very unusual routine pattern. And the people that you're going to run into in your daily work life, you will notice they're first of all very thin. You're going to come across many people who are very thin, pale complexion, and they're always going to need something from you in terms of relationship advice or working on relationship with you. It's not just going to be, hey, can I borrow a pen? They're going to say, can I borrow a pen? But listen, I want to know about what do you think of me because I feel like you don't like me. You're going to get into these unusual situations like, why is everybody after me for relationship reasons? Because that's the karmic pattern. The prarabdha karma has become alive. And Ketu's Mahadasha naturally is going to distance you from material things, material relationships. You're not going to really care for wanting to be in a relationship. If you're in a marriage, you're not really going to pay attention to that marriage. You're going to be like, whatever, you're going to be in your own eccentric world in this period. But definitely relationships and daily routines becomes very strong. Also, this is the period you can get a dog. You may actually get a dog in this period of Ketu. Depending upon where your 6th lord is placed, which is Venus, you are automatically either going to get some dog, stray dog come to you. If a lost dog comes to you in Ketu Mahadasha, keep that dog. Don't reject it. There's a reason why Ketu is sending you that dog. That's a little advice. So Venus Mahadasha. Okay, Rahu is in the third house in Scorpio. I don't need nakshatra because I don't know where nakshatra is placed. It becomes complicated. So Rahu is in the third house in Scorpio. First of all, this is the period where you will not really like to deal with your siblings. Very unusual karmic relationship will happen with siblings. This is also the period where your ego is gonna be going haywire. You're not gonna want to listen to gurus. You're not gonna want to listen to advice of people who have wisdom. You're gonna be greatly involved in sports, physical activities. You're gonna be greatly indulged into like not, I wouldn't say creative things, but more things where you are challenged, pushed, like sports, fighting skills. Like with Rahu in the third house, one will get greatly attracted to like even martial arts, because now Rahu is becoming Mars and Ketu. Naturally, you'll be greatly you like be watching like martial arts movies, but also because Rahu rules the sixth house of daily routines, daily work life, and sits 10th from itself, naturally shows one will either be dealing with things of chemicals, dealing with people's health and problems. And Rahu at this period will also be, and this is where you got to be careful, don't do any partnership with a friend or favor for a friend, because that favor may actually go against you, because Rahu is now in its state where it's not going to be giving you the right things in the third house. But what happens is it gives you great determination. Like your willpower is extremely strong. So if you're going to do something, do it by yourself. Don't try to take support of like friends and neighbors or siblings. Do something on your own. But one thing you got to remember with this Rahu, don't reject any gurus. Don't reject any counselor who comes and gives you an advice. Obviously, I don't know how your Jupiter is. If your Jupiter is in a good position, always seek advice. Don't put your own ego into it. And this is going to be the period of a lot of short distance travel. Okay, so the Jupiter well, they already kind of did that. No, I don't want Jupiter 12th house, Rahu 17 degrees. I don't know. I don't have time for looking at all of that. I just need a simple question, because this is not like a consultation, because then you're looking at 10 minutes of analysis just by me. Rahu Mahadasha, Rahu's in Libra, which is my ascendant. Okay. This is first of all a great position of Rahu. Being in Libra, it becomes Venus. So what's going to happen is, first of all, your personality is going to change. You're going to have this veil in front of you. Whoever you were, it's going to be pretty much like on steroids. So imagine Venus got pumped with steroids in Libra. For you, relationships of all kinds becomes extremely important. You're going to start dressing in a very exotic way. You're going to change your appearance. Like, let's say last year you were in your Mars Mahadasha. You were dressed all professional, all neat and clean. And now in this Rahu Mahadasha, you may want to change your hair color. You may want to start wearing a different style of pants and jackets. This is the period where one is going to be greatly wanting to know themselves through relationships and through business. And because Rahu rules the fifth house of education, I don't know how old you are, naturally this Rahu will either attract a person in education related to new age technology, especially if it's in Swati Nakshatra, marketing, sales. And this is also the Rahu where your children will either be born in foreign places, foreign lands, or they will be born in a further place away from where your birth city is. Also with this Rahu, naturally you will find great recognition. whether it's your community, your office, people will start recognizing you. Why? Because Venus is the brightest star in the night, okay? So with Rahu sitting there, Rahu is what? What is it doing? It's overblowing that glow of Venus. So recognition comes in. Like I have seen quite a few actors who got their stardom to fame with this, but obviously you have to look at the Rahu's position in Navamsha and look at it in Dasamsha as well. But this is entire 18 period is for relationship. It's related to business. It's related to companionship, and also your appearance is going to be the number one thing that's going to matter. But it's a good placement. Okay, so Moon Mahadasha, 11th house in Aries. First of all, you will gain money through your family or mother. You're going to become part of a large organization where you are going to find a lot of motherly figures. Moon also, depending upon the nakshatra, most definitely will give you great interest in humanitarian work, especially in Bharani nakshatra. Moon is going to bring you to an organization which is going to ask you to travel a lot, and your ability to earn money and your desires are going to be all about like traveling, wanting to become a parent. See, with Moon, what happens is naturally you're going to want to feel motherly. Whether you're a male or female doesn't matter. You're going to want to suddenly nourish something. You're going to want to become a father or mother. And any organization you go to, you will be wanting to just help other people. And naturally, this is a very good Dhan Yoga. So, but again, I don't know how your Moon is placed, especially in Dwara Damsa. Because remember, Moon is the mother. So whenever you run into Mahadasha of Sun or Moon, or Rahu or Ketu, look for their position, especially in Dwara Damsha. Not even Navamsha, Dwara Damsha, D12. Because it's your ancestors, Rahu, Ketu, and mother and father. And the what kind of a DNA resources are you going to extract in these Mahadashas? Venus first house Capricorn. Well, first of all, if you're going through that Mahadasha, and I don't know how Venus is placed in Navamsha, but this is, first of all, a Yoga Karka for Capricorn ascendant. Okay? And Venus rules the 5th and 10th house. So naturally, a person is going to feel very creative, artistic. One is going to become very sensual, romantic. You're most definitely going to suddenly change your, like if you, let's say Mercury was in a very bad shape for you. You probably didn't care for your appearance. You were procrastinating a lot. In Venus period, suddenly you're going to start wearing neat and clean clothes. You're going to keep your environment very neat and clean. You're naturally going to be attracting a lot of opposite sex or women. If you're a man, naturally women are going to be wanting to come and talk to you. It doesn't have to be romantic. They're just going to come and talk to you more. You will benefit through women. Especially your first child. Especially if your first child is a female, money will come in. Money will come in, career will take off, investments will take off. But this is a great position for somebody to express themselves creatively in this period. Because remember, planet when it's in the ascendant, like I was doing with Rahu in the ascendant, become the most important planet. They supersede everything. They supersede your career planets, supersede your destiny planets, Mahadasha planet in the ascendant become most important. So here Venus, especially, I don't know what aspects you have, Venus can actually make a person go into politics as well. Government or politics. Especially in Germany, it's said that Venus actually is one of the karkas for being in government, especially if it rules the second house from your Karakamsha Lagna. So, wait, Mercury Dasha in the 8th house in Kumbha. That's Aquarius. Okay, so you are a Cancer ascendant. Mercury rules the 3rd and 12th house. Sits in the 8th house in Aquarius. First of all, natural curiosity towards science, research, occult, mysticism will come about. There's going to be sudden travels to foreign places, foreign lands, or sudden short distance travels. You're going to be naturally attracted to accumulating joint assets. Also, speculative gains, like suddenly you're going to have interest in like sports betting. You may have sudden interest in stock market because 8th house represents other people's money. You want to somehow extract other people's money. Especially if Mercury is in Sast Bishak Nakshatra, you are going to be doing some research-based science and wanting to attain higher knowledge where you're digging deep into things. Mercury will give somewhat interest into writing about darker things in life. So if you're like a writer, you suddenly want to be changing your path of writing towards more supernatural, more which is like hidden. This is also the period where your siblings may keep a lot of secrets from you. And this is actually a good position for Mercury when it comes to managing joint assets, managing other people's assets, research-based work. It's a great thing. And you're definitely going to be very eccentric in this period. People are going to have a hard time understanding who you are as a person. One minute you're laughing, having a good time. The next minute you just leave. You don't care for anything. That eccentricity is going to come into play for you. Rahu in the 11th house in Taurus. Okay, so if Rahu is in the 11th house in Taurus, first of all, Rahu is exalted. Okay? Taurus represents farmlands, nourishment, family, wealth, luxury. This is the period all your hopes, wishes, and desires will be coming true, especially through foreign sources. You're going to be becoming part of a foreign organization, and you're going to be surrounded by foreign people. 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is also the period sudden burst of wealth will come in your life. Your in-laws will somehow, if you're married, I don't know how old you are, but your in-laws will somehow contribute to your fulfillment of desires because Rahu co-rules the 8th house. But this is a period of gains, and this is also the period you're going to be interested in wanting to do more business. Especially if Rahu is in Rohini Nakshatra, you're going to be interested in sports cars, riding, arts, beauty, wanting to take exotic vacations. But this is a period of fulfillment of desires. Saturn Mahadasha, retrograde Saturn in the 2nd house in Sagittarius. Okay. So what did I say about retrograde planet in my last video of Jupiter stationed? Whenever a planet is retrograde, it's going to act. It's going to not act. It's going to be really wanting to go towards the things which are opposite to that sign. Saturn being in Sagittarius is going to be greatly attracted to the sign of Gemini. So Saturn ruling the 3rd and 4th house, sitting 12th from the 3rd house, first of all shows there's going to be a great move, sudden move to a new place, new residence. But your travel is going to be restricted. You're not going to be traveling as much. Why? Because it's 12th from the 3rd house. Loss of the 3rd house, meaning loss of travel. So you might be more homebound in this period. Because Saturn rules the 4th house of fixed assets, vehicles. Okay? Rules the 4th house of mother. Aspects the 4th house or protects the 4th house. This is the period you will gain fixed assets like property, vehicles. However, there's going to be far more interest in politics, hidden information, and one is going to be wanting to do a lot of consulting, counseling, advising work. And you're going to become a very serious speaker. You're not going to want to speak that much. You definitely will see, you will have some, and this is for everybody, regardless of where Saturn is placed, naturally it brings issues related to like joints, or you will slow down as a person. You're going to feel lethargic, conservative, orthodox, opinionated. You're gonna start liking older classical things. Like if you were listening to new Bollywood music before, suddenly you're gonna want to listen to like Kishore Kumar and Muhammad Rafiq type music. So that's something I've seen. Like with people in Saturn, they become very old and classical in nature, and you're not gonna care for wealth as much. You're gonna become not care for wealth. I'm sorry. You're not gonna want to spend money as much. You're gonna want to hoard money. You're gonna desire to hoard money, and you're not gonna want to spend money. Like if you have one T-shirt, you're gonna wear that one T-shirt until like it has holes all over its place, because Saturn people in the second house are quite fearful of losing money. So what happens is they become great savers. They're like, instead of me buying a $40,000 luxury car, let me buy a $15,000 car, so I'll save the rest of the money for rainy day. So that's what something you're gonna see, but definitely I see a move happening. Rahu in the first house in Cancer, Rahu Mahadasha. First of all, Rahu considers Cancer its Mool Trikon sign. It's actually, I don't know, where's my book? Wait, I was just reading that book. The book is called Uttrakala Mitra. And in that book, I think it was page 81. I was actually talking to Togi Aditya yesterday. Wait, is my phone here? No, it's in my phone too, that picture. In there it clearly shows, according to Parashara, Cancer becomes the Mool Trikon sign of for Rahu. So Rahu, first of all, depending upon what you're doing, can bring a lot of fame. You're going to be over emotional about everything in your life. You're going to want to attach yourself to the family a lot. This is also the period where a person is going to want to do humanitarian work, suddenly wanting to give themselves to some society, some cause. But fame is definitely seen with Rahu in Cancer. You're also going to change as a person. Like your personality, your appearance is going to be completely different from where it was before. It's not going to be you. If you're, let's say, crying over small scenes of movies, it's not you. It's just that Rahu brings that veil in. This is also the period you will look to move to a place far away from your home. And your home can actually have a lake right next to it on the east side, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but on the east side you could have a lake. This is also the period where your career will do very well. I don't know exactly where your nakshatra lord is placed. I don't know what the situation is of your nakshatra lord in Navamsha, but Rahu in Cancer suddenly brings about overall prosperity, especially when it comes to your career. This is also the period your spouse is going to become very spiritual. Spouse is going to become very disciplined, structured, organized. You're going to see this change in your spouse coming. If your spouse was a very easygoing, jolly person, they're suddenly going to be very strict about everything. Nope, let's not do this. Nope. Like become very spiritual, or not spiritual, very punctual, very professional in nature. And you're going to be the opposite. You're going to be like emotional wreck. Always crying, always wanting to caress your family. Now we have Mercury what? Man, this is going too fast. Ketu Mahadasha 8th house Scorpio. Okay. There's a reason why you're here asking this question, because Ketu will naturally bring great interest in occult, mysticism, hidden knowledge, tarot. Ketu is going to separate you, alienate you from everything that you know. Like you're not gonna wanna deal with relationships, education, school, colleagues, career, home responsibilities. It's like you want to be in this closed shell, in foreign place, and you're definitely most of the time this Ketu can give you experiences of Kundalini awakening, third eye awakening, and because it's in its own sign of Scorpio, investments in petroleum, oil, chemicals can actually pay off and take you to higher heights. Because remember, Ketu is Dhabaj, flag. Wherever it sits, it'll rise. It'll make a person rise. So actually, your sudden rise in career can be seen only because it's in Scorpio. Mars Mahadasha, first house, Scorpio ascendant. So Mars is ruling the sign of Scorpio, but also it co-rules the sixth house with Aries. It's Multrikon sign. So first of all, competition is the number one thing here. You're gonna get a lot of competition. Okay, you're gonna be very aggressive, assertive, courageous in this time period. Naturally, you're gonna become a general with everything in your life. Whether you deal with your coworkers, your children, your bosses, your spouse, your mother, your family, your gurus, you are going to become this person who wants things done now, who wants to get things accomplished right away. And this is a placement of Mars that usually attracts a person to feels like either becoming a police officer, wanting to go into, like, in India they call it IPS officer. Person can also find great interest in medical field. Suddenly they want to know about their own body, because ascendant is your body, sixth house represents health. So naturally this brings about a lot of energy where you want to focus towards your body, your health, your vitality. This is a period where you will pay off your debts, whatever debts you may have accomplished or you have accrued, you will pay those off. And okay, this is also the period you can gain land, real estate, depending upon how old you are. If you're in your prime, this is because remember, Mars will look at the fourth house with its fourth aspect from the ascendant. So fourth house is about conquering something. The fourth aspect is about conquering something, some fixed asset. So because it's in the own sign, it's the ascendant lord, there will be conquering of land or conquering of vehicles. In this period, you may be attracted towards getting either really dark red color vehicles or black color vehicles. Then we have what do we have here? Rahu, what in the, oh man, Venus in the second house in Leo. Well, first of all, great period to enjoy uh, family surroundings, jewelry. You're definitely going to own jewelry in this period. Whether you're a guy or girl, you're going to want to possess jewelry. You're definitely going to be interested in fine foods, luxury foods. You're going to be all about big family gatherings. You will attain land, real estate in this time period. Wealth will definitely come in. But also shows there's going to be a lot of ego involving relationships. Like you want to be the dominating one. Venus will bring you not only vehicles, real estate, jewelry, but Venus will also bring great interest towards owning pets, especially if it's in nakshatra of Magha. And anybody comes in your life in this period, especially Venus is in Magha, obviously will have a past life connection with you, like a potential romantic partner or spouse. A lot of family gatherings are going to happen. Naturally, you're going to be all about expressing yourself creatively, artistically. Maybe you want to sing. Whether you can be an IT professional, but suddenly you're going to feel like, hey, maybe I want to sing. And this is a very limited amount of information I'm giving you, just because I don't know a whole lot about your nakshatra and all that, but it takes time. But it's all about family, it's all about gaining fixed assets, fulfillment of desires. You're going to want to show off a lot in this period. Like, you're going to want to get a luxury car so other people can praise you, so other people can see that you have made it, your status is high. But also, what happens with Venus in Leo, it gets burnt because it's a hot sign of sun. So this is why you see a person who will be more devoted to external beauty than internal beauty. So they're all about, look at my grand home, look at my luxury home. They're going to want to change things in their home to make it look all grand. They're going to buy luxury vehicles because they want other people to appreciate them. They could get plastic surgery, especially if Mercury or Rahu somehow influences Venus. In Venus period, one may get plastic surgery or get a nose job. No, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Ketu in the 10th house in the sign of Virgo. You're going to get a foreign opportunity to work, regardless of what you want or don't want. Regardless of you want to go or not. You're not going to care for your work, bosses, authorities. You want to devote yourself to some spiritual organization. Usually with Ketu in Virgo or Pisces, a lot of people join spiritual organization like Krishna consciousness, Hare Krishna, or Yogananda. They like, you get really attracted towards devoting your skills to a much more spiritual cause. Why? Because Hasta is a nakshatra of hands. Using your hands to heal people, using your hands to write, using your hands to protect people and do the work. But especially this is a placement of Mercury. It's exaltation place of Mercury. So Ketu becomes Mercury. One can be, I mean, I don't know how your Mercury is, but one becomes very good with numbers. But there's no interest in work. Unless that work is different from social norms of society. Naturally, one will find sudden interest in, yoga, meditation, occult, mysticism, but feels separated from their duty, feels separated from their leadership role that they're supposed to be taking. You'll be forced to put into the leadership role, and you're not going to like it. You're not going to want it because you've already experienced those things. Seven, 6, 12. So Saturn in Libra in the 8th house conjunct Venus. This is a placement where you can suddenly get money, like lottery winning. You will have great support of your in-laws. This is also the period you will gain through insurance, inheritance, wills and estates. Your spouse will contribute a lot to your joint assets. There will be a sudden move to foreign places, foreign lands. Yes. You will be attracted, or you will attract a lot of older people in your life, whether you're a male or woman, male or female. Like if you're a male, you will attract a lot of older women. Naturally, one will be, well, obviously we can see it. You'll be greatly interested in hidden subjects. But usually Venus Saturn brings more interest in tarot than like astrology or occult. And you will gain through other people's assets, other people's money. You will have support of your professional network circles with whom you will get sudden hidden favors. You know, like maybe your friend knows something about a promotion happening and they say, hey, do this, this, and this. I know they will give you a promotion. So you get these hidden secrets and hidden dealings through which you can gain money. Yet what happens is there's a lot of fear that comes in when it comes to your courage. Like showing your courage is something you're always going to need that support for courage. The courage, because remember, third lord is now in the 8th house. Although it's in its own sign, one does not have that fearless courage. There's a lot of doubts when it comes to your courage. Because Venus is in its own sign, you can gain through hidden sources through help of your siblings too. So what else do we have here? Uh, 11.5 Uttara Bhadrapada Venus Antradasha 7th house Sastabhishak. So Saturn is in the 8th house in Pisces. Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, its own nakshatra. Venture 80. What is Venture 80? Venture 80 7th house Sastabhisha? Or are you saying Venus Antradasha? Venture 80. Well, first of all, Saturn in the 8th house naturally will attract a person towards doing a lot of research-based work, natural interest in spiritual knowledge, Kundalini awakening. You are suddenly wanting to dive into, the world of the hidden. Saturn, being the Karka of the 8th house, shows you will gain through inheritance, insurance, wilderness states related things. But also, this will be the period where your enemies get dissolved. Your enemies will die off. Why? Which house does Saturn rule? 6th house and 7th house. 6th house, it represents enemies. They go into the 8th house. This represents a dissolving, because remember, Pisces is a sign, water sign of dissolving things. So this is the place where your debts gets dissolved. But also, 7th being a second from itself. You gain through spouse's assets, spouse's family, but it's very, very slow process of getting those things. But naturally in this period, if you're in your educational period, can show somebody who wants to go into fields of research and science. Usually, obviously, other places have to be involved and seen. But Saturn in Pisces shows discipline, structure, sacrifices, commitment towards more of spiritual cause. A lot of spiritual causes. If you're running through, you said Venture 80. I'm guessing it's Venus Antradasha. You're going through Venus Antradasha. Obviously, focus is going to be towards marriage and relationships, romance. And this is also the period where your sibling, if you have a younger sibling, they can get married. Why? Because Venus rules the 3rd house of younger siblings, sits in the 7th house of marriage. What this also shows me, if Venus is in the 7th house, and if you're single, and if you have a younger sibling, only once that younger sibling gets married, that's when your marriage will happen. So if you're the elder sibling, let the younger sibling get married first, because what are they doing? They're causing that Urgala to the 7th. Or not Urgala, sorry. What I call Viprita Urgala, you can say. Well, I mean, it's not really Urgala, but obstruction, I would say. Ketu Dasha, Ketu in the 12th house in Virgo Lagna. This is a period for your spiritual enlightenment. This is the period to devotion to higher self. I'm pretty sure you're right now wanting to go to foreign lands to join some spiritual place, spiritual organization. Like, this is not the period for focusing towards your career and your wealth or material things. This is This is the period in your life where universe wants you to focus towards development spiritual development, and you're going to be working in confined spaces like boxed in places like hospitals and laboratories and or asylums, but you're naturally going to be finding your true self in a distant foreign place. Wow, I'm not getting any sun dashas. Everybody's talking about Jupiter, Ketu, Venus, and Saturn. Anybody in sun dasha? It's my Jupiter. Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter Antradasha, Libra ascendant, Jupiter with Moon and Mercury in my 8th house. So it's in the sign of Taurus. Well, this is a period where one will. Most of the time, I've seen people who get into education related to finance, banking, and they gain through other people's assets in this time period. You will definitely gain through joint assets and your spouse, because this creates a Gach Kesari Yoga, and especially if both Jupiter and Moon are in Rohini Nakshatra. This is the period. This is one of those dashas where you can go from rag to riches. But also, this is a period where getting support of other people will always help you. Doing partnerships, because what happens is the third house of effort, or not effort, more like effort, but also courage, goes into the 8th house. Here you always need to be motivated, because your motivation is in the 8th house. It is in a very dark place. You always need somebody to uplift you and give this light to you. So it's always good to find a guru with Jupiter in the 8th house in Taurus. Also shows naturally you will come across gurus who are going to be knower of hidden knowledge, but also you will run into financial gurus. You know, like those financial those people who help you with your finances. You're gonna seek a guru like that. Like, I need an advisor for my finances. Jupiter being the 3rd and 6th lord, naturally this is going to be the time period where you're gonna want to do things through your own effort. But again, partnership would be quite good. But again, I don't know how your 7th lord is placed, so don't take my word on it right now. If the 7th lord Mars is good, then support of other people will actually take you to great heights. So Venus what? Venus in the 5th. Wait. Venus in the 5th house in Leo. It's a placement for an actor, performing artist, somebody who wants to be in media, somebody who just wants to be fulfilling their romantic ambitions in this period. So if I'm pretty sure you're wanting to become an actor. Saturn in the 1st house in Sastabisha Nakshatra. Well, either a person will be greatly interested in fields of humanitarian or aerospace technology, new age technology. Saturn will obviously bring in great interest in science and research in this period. You will also go to foreign lands, because 12th from Saturn is its own sign of Capricorn. So a foreign organization will come and take your physical body to a distant land. Now obviously, if you're in foreign lands already, you are going to be doing traveling as well on behalf of your career. Why career? Not for leisure, for career, because Capricorn is the original 10th house. So because it's the 12th house from where Saturn is, you're going to travel on behalf of your career. And this is the period you're going to be quite eccentric, very much about large group settings and society and at large. You're going to naturally find interest in social welfare, social reform, non-profit organizations, wanting to be part of like the government or wanting to, you know, get recognized by the government. A lot of administrative work can come about. Sastabisha Nakshatra will make you put you in a place where a lot of times you want to get away from people and just put a boundary around you. Like you just want to be hidden in your own hole. And you are going to seek advice of Ayurvedic doctors in this period or holistic healers. But most of the time I've seen, especially in this day and age, either information technology, aerospace technology. And if Jupiter is conjunct or aspects Saturn, and if you're trying to go for education, you'll be attracted towards education in fields of biomechanical, biomedical field, environmental science. So Jupiter 15 degrees, Rahu 15 degrees, Venus 15 degrees in Scorpio 12th house. So Sagittarius, oh man, this is a period for you to, this is a period of all love towards the occult, mysticism, hidden knowledge, biology, research-based knowledge. Like usually, actually, it's funny. Jupiter, Rahu, Saturn conjunction I had just last week for reading for someone. I don't know if I did your reading then. I don't think it was the exact same degrees as those, although I don't know. But they were actually doing research in DNA. They were trying to get their PhD in DNA research. Because remember, Venus is DNA. Rahu is science and research. Jupiter is biology. And Scorpio represents all about digging deep into things. Researching into things. Also, having this Guru Chandal Yoga with Venus, you are going to meet one of the best gurus in life when it comes to occult. And they will change your life. No, not me. You will definitely come across as Shukracharya. Shukracharya you will come across. You're going to want to break all the rules. You won't care for doing something normal in society. You're going to be a rebel. You're going to want to change things. You're going to want to, if something is black and white, you're going to paint it all color. That's what your life is now about. But this is a period you are going to study occult mysticism seriously. Not just by watching these YouTube videos. You're actually going to take a scholarly program somewhere. Your earnings are going to come through foreign lands. And so your Venus is ruling the 6th and 11th. So it's in the 12th house with the 3rd Lord. Yes, travel will happen. You're also going to be, if you're single, you're going to find a person of a different culture and ethnic background for marriage or for relationships. And actually a foreign person will bring in quite a bit of gains in your life. But this is a period it's all about either doing research-based work, working in a confined spaces, or learning about the mystical world, hidden world, occultic world. And especially and usually Jupiter and Venus being Kendra from each other makes a person a great artist and a actor too. Usually they have to be in Kendra itself, but Jupiter, Venus being Kendra from each other creates a Saraswati yoga. Although Rahu being there breaks that yoga, but it's a yoga for creativity, yoga for knowledge. But definitely Jupiter, if Jupiter and Venus are Kendra from each other, or Jupiter or Mars are Kendra from each other, definitely takes a person in astrology or occult. Rahu in 5th house in Virgo in Hasta Nakshatra. So you're Taurus ascendant. This is a period of Rahu where either a person is going to be attaining education in fields of information technology, software technology, or speculative gains, like business management related to like investment banking. But Hasta is a nakshatra of hands, so naturally you're going to use your hands to do technical work, especially related to new age technology. This is a period where you are going to run into I don't know how old you are, so unless you're 65, then it may not apply. Maybe you could, but romantic encounters are going to happen with people of foreign culture, different, very unusual romantic encounters will happen. 2, 3, 4, 5. You are definitely going to go to distant lands to attain your education. Your career will have foreign subordinates. You will have a job change, or you will go from job to a business. But your intelligence is very sharp. You're a very clever person. I mean, when you read a book, one page, 10 seconds it takes you to comprehend everything. Because remember, Mercury or Rahu is becoming exalted Mercury in the 5th house. I mean, it's like putting Mercury with steroids. That's what Rahu becomes. I'm like, look at me, I'm this big Mercury. Because why? Rahu is the eclipse. Sun is so huge, but still, Rahu eclipses the sun. It shows the world that, look, I'm so big. Look at me, I'm so big, I can eclipse the sun. So now it's showing that I'm so big, I'm bigger than Mercury. I am the most supreme intelligent person out there. So you might actually be a little rebellish or egotistical about your intelligence. So anyway, guys, it is almost noon. I will be back next week. Remember, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know about your planetary alignments, my books, reports, consultation, check out the links in the description, astrologykrs.com. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.